Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Designer Studio episode. We have Mary Wilson joining us because we're taking a look at the Char Saint-Chamond, which, look at that, that is a... Who designed that tank? I mean, obviously you designed that one, but at the same time, like, who looked at those blueprints and thought that was a... Yeah, this will be effective on the battlefield.
Yeah, and honestly, there's some like kind of controversy because it was originally made to combat the Schneider, and which we do have a model of, and basically they were like, let's improve on the Schneider, and then they were like, no, you don't get our blueprint, so they were like, we're gonna make one better, and they did not succeed. But yeah,
this is what they came up with. Yeah, fair enough. Well, obviously it has some video game lore from nowadays that kind of revived its popularity, or at least informed people a little bit more about its existence. Definitely an interesting addition to the World War I lineup, but I think it was a fan poll selection, which is how it got initially into it. I really like the camouflage that you decided to go with it. Tell me a little bit more about how the build came together.
Yeah, so because it is similar to the Schneider, because they tried their hardest, it's a very similar base to ours. Just for that accuracy there. And then building it, so the camo is very interesting. There were like quite a few different color schemes, like ones with blue in it and ones with like bright yellow too. It was very interesting. I chose a more subdued one. I saw like this camo scheme like more common.
Yeah, that looks more like camo. I feel like bright yellow and blue.
Bright yellow and blue. Hard to say. But it was really interesting putting it together because there are just so many angles and like there's just so much going on, and like the front portion and like the back, just everything has a new angle on it, which is not like, you know.
Were you surprised at all when it started coming together just how much overhang there was on either side of the chassis?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at pictures the whole time. I was like, this looks kind of funky, but and it looked kind of funky. Yeah, I guess like looking at the blueprint, I was like, am I sure this is right? Like, it's this many bricks long. Like,
doing your stud counts and everything.
Doing the stud count. So that was pretty interesting. And because it's so long, like this is the improved version. It's like from 1918, I think. And so they like added little roller wheels at the on either
end. For the trenches, yeah.
So they would like go better through the trenches, which apparently like didn't actually work that well.
It got
that addition
beached.
Didn't
yeah,
help.
Right. Quite often. It's kind of got that cool rolling fortress look to it with the machine gun sticking out the side, and then obviously that big cannon on the front.
Yeah.
So when you started kind of putting it all together, obviously you got some working hatches there, etc. But what kind of play features did you want to work into it?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that you could fit the minifigs inside too, because if you wanted to have a full crew, then you could. So you can have them, you know, sticking out of the hatches like they do, but also you can fit them in behind the Hotchkisses, so they can aim down there, these two side ones especially. So I really wanted that, and then yeah, like you can pose these side Hotchkisses pretty easily. I mean, for the range of motion that allows this small box. But other than that, like yeah, it's got the working treads and the working roller wheels.
A bizarre looking suspension too on the treads themselves.
Definitely very interesting. But also like it's like decently solid for like the amount of angles and everything in there, so I wanted to make sure, like, you know, if you were playing with it, it's not going to fall apart. Well,
and considering you left enough room to be able to put the crew inside, I mean, usually when you have a detailed interior, you sacrifice some of the strength of the model just because you can't reinforce it internally. So the fact that you kind of get the best of both worlds here, where not only do you get to play with the interior a little bit, but it still holds together, you know, and it'll actually get across a trench. Mary's version will. You know, that's a fun addition to that. So very, very cool. And then, like I said, thanks for not making it blue. I appreciate that because I like the way this looks a little bit better. So, anything else you want to cover?
I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, it also comes with a minifig, so let's kick things over to Landon. Take a little bit closer look at this French tanker. Okay, now Landon's joining us because we're talking about the Saint-Chamond tanker.
Yes.
The French tanker.
Yep.
I love those faces.
Yes. So that's a British splatter mask. So it's like an anti-Spalding mask. So when a bullet or round hits the side of especially this earlier armor, you get little metal flakes to fly off at like crazy speeds, and so they came up with a way to kind of protect their faces as best they could. So it's kind of got that chainmail going on there. It looks very spooky, actually.
Yeah, right. It's almost medieval.
Right, totally. And then, you have an Adrian Helmet, maybe for some additional protection. Adrian Helmet, brand new artwork on that one.
Oh, cool.
Texture printed. It's that grenade and then cross cannons that you'd see on the, I guess, artillery side of French Adrian helmets. So that's really nice texture printing on that with a little bit of, you can see it just kind of popping out there subtly, which is cool. Similar artwork to some previous figures, but there's some updates going on here. Trying out different things with shading, with stitches. We have a gas mask canister around the back, pistol belt and holster. I think it's kind of a complete package for this tanker minifigure here.
It is a crazy looking minifig to go with kind of a crazy looking tank. I mean, that's just really how you put it. Like I said, that Spalding mask is so wicked looking. It's just awesome. Well, awesome. Thanks for talking us through that a little bit. Very cool figure. That is the Designer Studio episode for the Saint-Chamond. Make sure to tune in next time when we take a look at another Brickmania kit.